Y'all want to know the bright side of Dana Terrace's Owl House becoming into like 40-minute specials instead of a full-length season with like 20 something episodes? Is that at least be a little bit more easier for me to review them? Haha. Okay, look, I am sincerely apologize about that joke. That was uncalled for. Look, I love the Owl House, okay? Look, it's just every time I make these videos, it's a little bit harder to edit. These are like one of my hardest videos that I have to edit. But like, it's, look, I'm not saying I don't appreciate Dana, what she's doing out there. Of course I do. And, I actually wish that the Owl House has more episodes. Even if it takes me a lot to like review them, I really wish that Disney didn't cancel the Owl House and made them into specials instead. That was just a joke. Please do not take it seriously. Anyways, before I make any more insensitive jokes, let's roll the intro and let's get started with this review.
Stop acting like something's wrong. We're not flawless. We're a work in progress. We got dents and we got worse, but it's our flaws that make us work. Yeah, we're not flawless. We're a work in progress. So tell me what flaws you got too, 'cause I still like what's flawed about you.
Hello everybody, it's the Winged Unicorn here, and I am here with another video. And in today's video, we're going to be reviewing the Owl House Season 3 with its first special. Now, just in case if you're not up to date, yes, I did say special, because Disney decided to cancel the Owl House instead of letting it have its full-length third season. And this really upsetted the community, of course. However, if you guys are not up to date with this news, according to Dana Terrace, after, like, apparently some Disney executives who canceled the show admittedly said that canceling the Owl House was a mistake, according to Dana Terrace. And all I can say is, wow, Disney, you think it was a mistake to cancel the Owl House? It was absolutely a mistake. The Owl House is like one of the hottest shows trending everywhere, and it's like everybody is just absolutely falling in love with the Owl House, and here you are trying to cancel it just because it was a little gay, all right? And like Disney, the whole situation with Disney is absolutely stupid, and I hope you guys see why. But anyways, on the positive side, the Owl House Season 3 with its first special actually started off pretty good, and today we're going to be talking about it. So first I want to talk about my problems with the special. Not really with the special, but like with the problems that came with it. Not because of the quality, but because of like what it means for the entire rest of the Owl House. So this especially comes from the intro. This problem stems from the intro, and which, by the way, the intro, I really loved it. And especially if you guys haven't seen it, I especially freaking loved Luce's coming out scene to her mother. Which, okay, side note, by the way, I actually had no idea that like Camila even knew that her daughter was bisexual, and so it came a little bit as a surprise for me. But it's still a sweet scene regardless, and it's really positive to see that like Camila being really supportive of her daughter, and that about her bisexuality, and it's just really great. And I also really love how like she's just embracing both her and Amity, showing that she's accepted into the family. So that's cool. So at least that part of the intro was cool. The entire intro was cool, but scenes including this one could have been like an episode all on their own. It's just really sad while seeing this intro, like how many possibilities we could have had with like all the episodes that we should have had if like Disney just didn't butt in and just like cancel everything, just like make Owl House just like shorter. It's just really sad to see all of that. There's so many awesome episode ideas that stem from this. Like I said, Luce's episode about like her coming out to her mother as bisexual could have been a really great episode, especially because like that would have been great for the community to like see a character like Luce to like come out to her mother, especially for the Hispanic queer community, which is what Luce is. It's Hispanic and queer. I think it would have been a cool thing that like a person of color to come out to her parents and just you know, have like either a positive or negative response, and in this case it's positive. Camila actually accepts Luz for who she is. But I feel like it would have been so great, especially for a POC queer icon, to like, be represented on screen. And yeah, we do have a snippet of it and it's really cool, but like it would have been great to have like a full episode where like, maybe Luz struggles to like, tell her mother, or like even like, it's even implied that like, since Gus was there, like Luz probably told everyone, being like, so I'm going to come out to my mom, this is coming out is basically this, and this is how we're going to do it, which is honestly kind of a funny thought. But it would have been great to see that happen, because like I said, it would have been such a positive influence, and like Luz would be the ultimate bisexual icon. We also could have had an episode of V finding herself, especially because like with this snippet of the episode, V finally finds her own style, and like that could have been great to see, V like trying to find herself. And it would have been great to V's character, because we don't know too much about V, and it would have been great to like highlight on V's character. And also, just because I love you guys, for all any of you who are Hanzo shippers, it would have been great to see, Hunter and Willow have like that little relationship that they could have had with like a full-length episode. Just maybe just a little bit more of a justification as to why Hunslow should happen. Look, I'm not saying Hunslow shouldn't happen, okay? I think the idea is cute. It's just I wish it would have been fleshed out more. So I'm not against the Hunslow shippers, okay? And I just want people to know that it's completely fine if you ship Hunslow. I just prefer it to be more. We even have a clip of them trying to create the portal door, which fails, but it would have been great to see them, try to at least do that in an episode. We also see a snippet of the gang trying to make this, whatever this thing is, for Camila and Luz, and it would have been funny to at least see that, because not only is it funny, but it would have been kind of cool if it was an episode idea of, them trying to introduce their whole world to Camila and Luz, and like, maybe Camila and Luz trying to introduce their own world to the gang. And it's just, and it would have been a great episode, especially because like, like I said, I brought up that Luz is Hispanic, so it would have been great to like, see her Hispanic customs, and how like her Hispanic life works, especially because, coming from a Hispanic person myself, it would have been great to see that. It would have been great to see, how she introduces the Hispanic culture to her friends, especially because, so I just finished watching Amphibia, and I thought, and one of the good episodes of like season 3 is when Anne Boon-choi, which is the main character of the show, kind of introduces Thailand culture to the planters, which is the other characters that are present in the show, like, kind of introducing them to Thailand culture, and them just like embracing and like, trying to involve themselves within the Thai culture. And it would have been and it was really interesting episode, and it would have been cool to like, see Luz, trying to introduce them to her Hispanic heritage. And it would have been, it would have been really cool to see, but we still didn't get it. We also could have had how, like, Luz and Amity's relationship is going, especially because, like, it was a big thing back in season 2, that Amity really wants to go, like, on a proper date with Luz. And, we could have seen it, that we could have seen that date. And it was implied that, like, maybe they did have, like, their own proper date in the human realm. If you guys seen, like, that little scrapbook thingy of them, and, it's just them just, like, just pictures of them, just enjoying life or whatever, and it's like that could have been like their date. But it would have been great to see them going on that date, seeing how their relationship goes. And yeah, of course, we know Luz and Amity are doing fine. Their relationship is extremely healthy, one of the healthiest relationships that I have seen. But it would have been great to see more of that, not because like, it's needed, but because we want it. We want to see them, succeed in a relationship. And I know they do, but it would have been great to see it. And it also would have been great to see Luz, how she handles her home life and her whole situation and how she handles it at school. Maybe even see like how she's doing in her school life, just to get a taste of what it was like before the show happened, because like it was shown that like, Luz was portrayed as the outcast in her school, and it would have been super great to see, like full length episodes of like how she was treated, what exactly the students do to her, and how bad it was for her. It would have been it was so much missed opportunity. Of course, not blaming the show creators themselves, but of course I am blaming with the whole problem with the whole Owl House cancellation. It would have been so great to see these episodes that I have just named, but because of the circumstances, we just can't get it. Despite everything I just said, this entire special really does justice for the characters, which is the biggest thing that I can applaud for the episode for. I first off want to talk about Luz, because at this point Luz is pretty much my favorite character in the Owl House. Okay, so I just noticed that I keep switching with like favorite characters for I think in my first Owl House video I said Lumity. Amity was my favorite character in the show, which is still true. She's one of my favorite characters, but Luz, honestly, after looking at like looking as her entire character and like seeing myself, I can honestly see myself more into Luz now, especially because she feels like she's been a liar to her friends. She feels like she's betrayed her friends, especially because she accidentally helped Bellows from the past trying to reach the collector, and it's just really sad, especially with the scene with like she's she's like having her outburst in school, which by the way, if you guys find it cringy, fine, but like I hope you guys can at least understand that like why she's doing this. And for those of you who are like calling the people out for saying it's cringy, listen, you guys are the same people who say, Luz is supposed to be a cringy character, this is how you're supposed to feel, and then my response is, yeah, that's exactly what we're feeling. We're cringing and we're like we feel sad about it, of course. We know Luz is it's like, supposed to be like kind of a cringier character or whatever, but like not like cringier in a bad sense, but like more like I guess cringy and like, like I guess like more of like, if you were in that situation you'd feel bad for yourself or feel embarrassed for yourself, or just basically more like of an embarrassing situation kind of person. People who always like put themselves in embarrassing situations. I guess that's what people mean when they say Luz is cringy. But like like even when I saw this scene for the first time, it's like my brother was in the room at the same time, and that scene came on, and I quote his words. He says something along the lines of, "Who does that? Like, why did she do that?" Like, and then I was just like, "Yeah, I don't know why she did that either." It's just like I get it. It's just my old problem is, why did she have to stand on the desk? That's just my only thing. But enough of that part. So, the actual part that I really love about the episode, which is probably my favorite part of the episode, is when Camila's having that dream about all the flashbacks into Luz's early childhood and what led her to like, sending Luz to the camp in the first place. And it just shows how Camila really does care about Luz, and that she didn't want to send her to the camp. It's just because she was told to do so because it was revealed that Camila herself was bullied as well. And the principal tells her about this, tell Camila, you really need to get Luz back on track. And it's just a really sad scene, because not only does it highlight Luz's character, but also Camila's character. And it just shows, how she is as a mother. And like, she really does care about Luz, and she didn't want to do this. She just didn't want Luz to be bullied like she was. What's even greater about this scene is how the Owl House community talks about it. More and more people are headcanoning Luz as like an autistic character, or like somewhere on the autistic spectrum, or just neurodivergent in general. So I think it's actually kind of an interesting thought, because there are some instances of like Luz where she does show some autistic traits, and people have been calling up on that. And it also shows like how Luz deals with it, and like how she is being portrayed on screen, and how Camila like has to go through that. And like Luz is being bullied, her communication skills are really lacking, she doesn't have much friends, and according to her mother, Luz apparently does things differently, which is something that much of the autistic community can kind of relate to. And especially because Camila, being a mother of a neurodivergent child, supposedly, is how she's dealing with it. And of course she shows that like she of course loves Luz, she accepts Luz for who she is, and she accepts all the quirky stuff about her. She loves her as who she is, but she knows that like Luz needs to still go on the right path. And she doesn't hate Luz for not doing that, but like more like just knows she just wants to do what's best for her. And that's what makes this scene great, even without like the whole autistic theories or like headcanons. It's still great to see that like Camila isn't an abusive mother. She really isn't. She's not a bad mother at all. She just wants Luz to have the best life, and just not be bullied, and not be judged for who she is, and not be the outcast that she was in her school. And even like I said, even if if like the autistic theories aside, I feel like lots of people can relate to Luz, especially because like like I said, Luz is portrayed as the outcast in her school. And honestly, lots of people can relate to this, autistic or not, because I'm pretty sure lots of people have had those points in their life where they are too different and they're really scared to make friends, especially for those who are extremely shy, who have really high anxiety, especially from someone like me. Like I struggled for the longest time of how to socialize with other people, and to this day I'm still am, but luckily I am getting better. And it's really nice to see Luz have that progression as well, especially because like she started off with no friends, which honestly I can relate to. Like I did not have any friends before at all, and it's just really hard for me to like make friends, especially because I always thought that like it was weird to be my own self. It was weird for me to be just the way I am, and it's just I feel like people don't like me because of who I am, and I feel like I might be a nuisance to people. And I feel like that's a thing that Luz struggles with. And she finally finds the Boiling Isles, and then she realizes that she makes so much friendships over there, so much relationships over there. And even somebody like Amity like admiring her, having a crush on her. And it's like really, it's probably like a really overwhelming feeling for Luz, because like someone like Amity, someone who that used to hate her, used to think that she's a nuisance, actually loves her and wants her to be her girlfriend. And it's just new, just all these new experiences is just really touching for Luz. And it's just she finally finds herself in the Boiling Isles. So just like how like I am, and like hopefully other people can see, like if you find your own place where you are very comfortable in, you can like finally make the connections that you really want and that you need as well. And Luz finally has those connections in the Boiling Isles, connections that she could have never had back in the human realm. And it's just really heartwarming to see that. And it's really cool to like have this scene to like show how messed up her life was before, like how much of a relatable character she is, especially for those people who are extremely shy, for those who are really portrayed as outcasts, maybe those who are not necessarily shy, but like people think that like they're nuisances, that they're annoying, that they're too different, and they just don't like them for who they are. And it's just really nice to see that. And it's just really nice to see Luz portrayed as this, like as in a way where like so many people can relate to. All right, moving on. We also see a little bit more of Hunter's character, which is probably one of the other characters that has been seriously been doing justice in this special, because I always liked Hunter. Hunter was a good character. It's just that I feel like we should have like went a little bit more into his character, which I was looking forward to when going into this special, because like I said, if you guys saw those Comic-Con convention thingies with like the videos where like they're basically sneak peeks of the special that was revealed like a little while ago. And it just shows like Hunter does have like a little internal struggle, especially because like him like finding out that Bellows isn't the good person that he thought he was, and he isn't serving a good person all this time, seeing how bad life was working for him, and how he was a clone of some sort made by Bellows, and all this trauma just kind of made him, step back, doubt his own life, doubt himself. And it's really heartwarming to see in this episode how much he has changed, and especially because how he's trying to find himself as well. And it's absolutely adorable with like how he finds himself. Like, honestly, one of my other favorite moments in the episode is when, like, he creates this t-shirt of like a wolf saying, he's found a hobby of like sewing, and also that he loves wolves, which honestly, Hunter honestly does look like the kind of guy that would be into wolves, honestly, which is honestly really sweet to see. It really is. I especially freaking love his friendship with Luz, and it's just really sweet for them to finally be, talking instead of bickering, because, like, the bickering, I guess, was funny, but it's nice to see that humanity within each other and showing that to each other, and having that sibling bond, and having that awesome friendship that they need for each other. I especially love the scene where Luz accepts, like, Hunter as like part of her family, and it's just really heartwarming to see. It especially gets sadder when Hunter starts crying as soon as Luz says that he finally found his place. He finally finds people who cares about him and love him, and just accepts him to be his friend, and maybe and be part of a family of some sort that's like even better than what he was given from Bellows, and it's just really sweet to see. And I also really love how like Luz doesn't tell him, hey, it's okay, or like she's just silent, and she just lets him know it's okay to cry, and it's okay to like it's okay to like feel this way. She's there for him, and everybody else is there for him, and it's just really heartwarming to see, them as, like kind of like a brother and sister bond, and it's just really cute. And putting Hunter, Luz, and Camilla aside, we do get some moments with the others, and they're not as groundbreaking as the other ones that I have mentioned, but they're still pretty sweet, especially because back in season 1, with Amity and Willow's whole arc with like with them trying to rekindle their friendship, especially because like Amity's starting to turn over a new leaf and trying to break away from her mother's standards, and trying to find herself, trying to be the person that she wants to be instead of what her mother expects her to be. And being friends with Willow again is the start. And not only that, but with also with everyone else, with Luz, Gus, Hunter, and V. And we even see how at least these four are, bonding with each other, and how, that they're best friends. And it's just really great to see them, be in a friend group, and especially with like the whole circumstances with like these people, especially because like Gus has his problem with like being easily manipulated by other people to like because of his own prodigy skills, I guess, and trying to get actual friends that care for him and like him. And Amity, like I said, trying to break away from her mother's expectations and trying to be the person that she wants to be as opposed to what her mother wants her to be. Willow trying to be more confident, more outgoing, less shy, and trying to be more tough. And V, with her finding herself and trying to make her own friends, and trying to heal from all the trauma from the Boiling Isles. The other part of the episode I want to talk about is towards the Bellows coming back into play with the whole plot of the Owl House, and him taking control of Hunter, which honestly, I'm glad that they picked up from it, because I don't know if I pointed out about that little slime stuff that was on Hunter. Yeah, I did point it out. And like that little slime stuff of Hunter, like from Bellows, and I was like worried that like that probably will go back into play. I was worried that they will probably forget about it, but no, they don't. And like the results is terrifying. Hunter becomes like possessed by Bellows, and it's just really terrifying to see, and especially because later on he's trying to fight him off. And even before he does try to fight him off, he accidentally kills Flapjack, the only companion before everyone else that he had. When Hunter does fight Bellows off and trying to break away from his possession, it's such a great thing to see that how much he's come, and that he's finally standing up to Bellows, and like after figuring out what Bellows' actual plan is, being a witch hunter and all. And it's just really great to see, how much Hunter has come, and how much of a character he has grown, and the person that he has grown into. And like, he's just doing all of this so then Bellows won't hurt anybody ever again. But then Bellows apparently escapes and goes back to the Boiling Isles, which is going to be an epic showdown in the second special. Like, seriously, can't wait to see that. But of course, can't go by without this scene of the episode. I really need to talk about this. It's like Flapjack trying to sacrificing himself to save Hunter. It's honestly such a very powerful scene, not only because it was beautifully animated, but also because, like I said, he was Hunter's only other companion before the gang came into play, and actually, where Hunter starts to get involved in. But like, Flapjack was probably one of the only things in season 2 that brought Hunter's humanity and brought out uh his soft side. And it's just really sad to see Flapjack sacrifice himself for Hunter. And it's such a sweet scene as well, because like it shows Flapjack cares about Hunter so deeply. And Hunter did have a friendship before the rest of the gang. And it's just super sad to see Hunter break into tears when he realizes how Flapjack is gone and he's the only one left. Luce also gets her her resolution with her whole secret of helping Bellows with trying to reach to the collector. And it luckily everybody else like understands, and they know it wasn't Luce's fault. Anybody could have been fooled, but it's just really sad to see how Luce, with all the insecurity she had, be the reason that all the bad things happen, and the reason why people just hate her, because she just does all the stuff like this. And like, she puts everyone in danger, and she worries that everybody will hate her because of it, because she caused such a big problem like this. And everybody reassures her it's okay. Of course, like everybody's gonna help her fix it, and anybody could have been fooled by this, and it wasn't her fault at all. Even her mom steps in and says, "I'm going to help you fight Bellows," which I don't know how that's going to work, but I think it's going to be an absolutely interesting thing to see in the second special. And everybody agrees that, that everybody's going to be standing with Luce, and that they're going to fight Bellows all together. And it's just really sweet to see all these friends coming together, trying to help each other defeat the bad guy. And it's so cool to see, Amity being such a good girlfriend with Luce, saying that, she's not mad at her, she's gonna be with her. There will be no more secrets, but like, she can at least know that, that she's gonna be with her. Everybody's gonna be with Luce. And it's just really sweet, and just perfectly adds on, how healthy their relationship is, and how much they have came as characters. And then the episode ends. And that was it for the first special of the Owl House. I really enjoyed this special a lot. It was really, really, really nice to see it. And it really makes me really look forward for what we have in store next. And it's even a good sign, especially because with all the circumstances with Disney and Dana's battle with Disney. And it just shows that, Dana isn't going to go down without a fight, and that she really isn't going down without a fight. Like I said in the intro, that whole coming out scene stuff and stuff like that, with all these references to little LGBTQ sprinkles in there, with there's little hidden references and little hidden pride flags if you saw the episode. And it's really cool to see. It's Dana really isn't going down without a fight. She's just if I'm going down, I'm going down flying. So and I think that's cool. She's like really going out with a bang, and it's just really nice to her for her, you know, to like do all this. She really said, "Frick you, Disney! I'm doing whatever the hell I want. Even if you're gonna cancel me, I'm still gonna do whatever the hell I want." And you know, it's just really cool to see, you know, the Owl House actually flourishing instead of falling, and you know, it really gives me hope for the future. And you know, let's just hope that, like, you know, the second special and the last special will be just as good as this one, and I'm looking forward to it. And hope, and you know, hopefully you guys are looking forward to it as well. Anyways, that's the end of this video. Comment down below and tell me what are your thoughts about this special. Do you like the special? Do you hate it? Do you think it's okay? Tell me your problems. Tell me all the things you liked. And tell me if you're actually optimistic about the future of the Owl House, because I'm really curious to see what you guys think about it. Anyways, this is the Winged Unicorn, and she's got to fly away. See you next time, you guys. Bye.